Scream! Okay, so this video is gonna be a little bit different than my other ones because I don't have a script. And also, what did I say? Other ones. I only have one other one, but this is gonna be different because I don't have a script. I watched the movie yesterday, so just my quick, immediate thoughts as a Scream fan. Okay, so I love Scream. They're like my favorite horror movies. I've been watching them for a while, and I like them. So when I heard about Scream 7, obviously I had to be there day one. By day one, I mean the day after day one because I couldn't watch it day one, but I tried. Okay, so Scream movies, I feel like they're probably one of the most consistent horror franchises where like I don't think there's really any movie that I'd say it's absolute like garbage. Closest we get is Scream 3, but I will defend that one. I still like Scream 3 and it has a lot of potential. I still enjoy it. So honestly, I was like going into this movie, I had pretty high hopes. I was like at the very least be decent, like same level of Scream 6, you know? Because I none of these movies have ever been like bad in my eyes. I liked all of them. So like I knew this one I'm gonna enjoy it. And I did enjoy it. Of course I had some problems with it, which is why I made this video. Also some thoughts. But overall I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. Yeah. Okay, so first things first, we gotta talk about the opening. Scream always has iconic openings. So it's the first one. It's probably like the most iconic scene ever. The Scream 1 opening. So I gotta talk about the opening. And yeah, I liked it. It wasn't like the best Scream opening. Like I don't think anything's ever topping the first one. But this was still pretty good. I like that they went back to the house. It was in the trailer, so I knew it was coming. And honestly, when I watched the trailer, I thought I already seen the whole scene, like there wouldn't be any surprises. So I thought it was like, oh, this scene's gonna be like, I'm gonna know everything. Honestly, it was better than I thought it'd be. Of course, it's no masterpiece, but it's still good. I like the couple. Like I thought they'd be like really annoying, but they were better. Not like great, but like tolerable. I like them. They're enjoyable. I like the guy because that's literally how I would act if I was there. So I can't even get mad at him for like being like a little prick about everything. And there's a girl who's basically like who's just there like I don't really like Scream or Stab in this case. And she's just like there to be like, we should leave now. And then the guy's like, no, no, no. I was I was just fully expecting him to be like fully stupid. Like he'll see like Ghostface like stabbing like his girlfriend or whatever. He'd be like, man, this horror stuff is super immersive. And I was like expecting that he'd be totally stupid and the girlfriend would be like the only competent one. But like he was like better than I thought. Like he was funny. I enjoyed it. Like when he did that prank scene and like she like punches him in the face. I like that scene. And also the animatronic. Of course, it was obvious that they were gonna like he was gonna like switch them out. And that was actually gonna be the real one. Like I was fully expecting that, but it still kind of caught me off guard. And honestly, like the big loud ass fucking music they play in the theater got me, and I jumped. That's like the only scene I ever jumped was that scene. And it's not because it was actually scary. It was just the music. It caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. But from then on, I locked in. I locked in. So he just like kills the boyfriend immediately, the killer. And also, I want to talk about this now. I love how they go like full out for these killers in this movie. Like this is like how they did in Scream 4. Like they get like fully bloody. Like especially since this one's rated R, which I'm pretty sure the other ones aren't rated R. I'll check editing me. I'll put something here, but I'm pretty sure they weren't rated R. So yeah, this one's rated R, and you can tell like they took advantage of it, especially in that one scene in like the theater. But we'll get to that. And she basically like okay, so after he kills the guy, slimes his eye out. She like runs up the stairs. They have a little scuffle, some classic Scream stuff. Then she gets like pushed on the chandelier, and it's like basically the scene from the trailer. And I was expecting it to end there, like she's gonna fall. The guy like flips over, and the knife is be like ah, and then it's gonna like cut to like the Scream 7. But no, actually, just like the other scene when it's like burning the house down. I don't know why. I thought that'd be later on that they go back to the house, but no, it's here. And honestly, glad they added it. It was like, really tough, like Ghostface walking away from the burning house. Tough fire scene. I wish like we got more fire because it's in like the poster. We see like fire, like I'm gonna burn it all down. That was in like the marketing, so I was like hoping that'd be more of it. But that's basically it. There's like no other fires. And okay, moving on. From there, we get introduced to the main cast, and we're gonna talk about the legacy characters first before we get to the new ones, which means talking about Sydney. Okay, Sydney. Okay, she's Sydney Prescott. I would say one of the best final girls in all of horror. So, and I always liked her. I liked her in all the movies. I was like little adverse on how they do her because like from this trailer, like she's like a mother in this case, and her daughter Tatum's fully grown up. So I thought it was gonna be like it was like you gotta learn to trust me, and yeah, that's what they did. But it was again wasn't as annoying as I thought it'd be. I like Sydney. I like them in all the movies. She's basically the same as she always is. You know, like yeah, I love Sydney. Yeah, she's great. And of course, her like be learning to like trust other people and be like less overprotective for daughter. Pretty obvious storyline, but like it's Scream. No one comes to like deep. This is like Scream. No one comes for deep storylines. I don't care. It's good. I liked it. It's enjoyable. It carries nice thing to carry throughout a story, a theme. Every movie needs a theme. That's a good theme. Okay, good. We talked about Sydney. I don't have much to say. I always like her. She's the same in all of them, and that she doesn't need to change. She's great. And then we could talk about Gail. Okay, Gail. Yeah, she's also the same, you know, like bad bitch, you know, like it's Gail. Everyone likes Gail. Well, most people do. I don't know. But I like Gail. Yeah, she's great. She's just Gail. She doesn't really have like a character arc. Not really. She mostly just helps Sydney, which she basically done in all of them. I don't think she's had truly a character arc since Dewey. And like in Scream 6, like getting over Dewey. But like here, she's just kind of just back to old Gale Weathers. That's about it. And she's enjoyable, you know, like you can't complain about Gale Weathers, you know? Yeah. And other legacy characters, I want to talk about. I'm kind of sad that they didn't bring back any of the cast from like the last ones. What they did, I'll get to her. I'll get to Minnie later, but I kind of wish they brought them back in some way. Like I was just expecting them to come back later on. Like they show like pop up in the van and be like, "Guess who's back?" or something like that. But no. I mean, I heard about this. I heard they couldn't get the other cast because apparently like ownership changed and some weird stuff behind the scenes was happening, which was upset, which made me kind of worried about this movie. So like, even though they couldn't get any of the new ones, I think they got past it pretty well by just having it focus on Sydney's daughter and her friends. So they have an excuse to not bring back any of the other casts because like it wouldn't be like necessary. You don't need them, right? So I think it was pretty smart how they got around that. I just wish they brought them back. But they did bring back Mindy. They brought back Mindy. Honestly, she was like my favorite one from the last ones because she's basically just Randy 2.0, and Randy's like my favorite Scream character. I still not over how they killed him in Scream 2. But like she's basically just Randy again, and and I love Randy, so you know I like her. She was my favorite, and I'm glad they brought her back. And it makes sense, like her like trying to be like Gale Weathers 2.0, like mini Gale Weathers, again enjoyable and a little lackey. I don't know if he was in the other ones, like maybe I'll check that, but I'm pretty sure he's an original character introducing her. He's kind of like not really any character. He's kind of just a little lackey, like I didn't expect us to run over a guy today. Cut me some slack, man. Like yeah, that kind of annoying guy. He doesn't do anything. But you know, he compliments Mindy, so I don't really care. Okay, now we're gonna talk about actual new characters. So let me talk about Tatum and her little crew of friends. Okay, Tatum, not the OG one, the new one, her Sydney's daughter. Yeah, I liked her. Like I thought she like be like annoying, like teenage, like, oh, you don't understand me, you know, like that. But she was a lot better than that, a whole lot better. She actually like understandable, was pretty smart about things. Most of the time, there's some stupid moments. I'll get to that later on. But yeah, she's enjoyable. I liked her like relationship with Sydney. She's like she's a nice like down to earth character and like she still has some of the teenage moments, but it's like not like over and over the top. So it's good. Also, I guess I'll talk about her dad, fucking like Jeff Winger, bro. Like I don't know his actual name. I'm gonna call him fucking Jeff Winger from Community. Yeah, I was yeah, when I saw him, I knew like Jeff Winger, but like he's like he's like a good character, I guess. He's just kind of there, really. He's like, get behind me, stuff like that, and he gets like fucking like marked and like halfway through and comes back later on. Also, that was stupid. I had no idea how he survived that. I'll get to that scene later, but like I don't know how he survived that. Same thing with like fucking like Fridge or whatever, and like the sixth one. Like I don't know how they survived those. Yeah, he's just kind of just a dad character. Which kind of like disappointing. Like this is Sydney's like husband. Like she's gone through a lot of like relationships. You mean like the one she lands on should be kind of like important, but he's kind of just a guy. But you know he's just nice. So I'm like happy for Sydney. You know, and he survived. So at least Sydney doesn't have to go through another loss again. I mean she lost like what like two boyfriends. She lost Billy, which was like psychopath, and the second one she lost her actually good boyfriend. So like no, I'm glad she actually has a stable one, an actual like husband relationship now. Okay, then we can talk about her friends. There's like the blonde one. I don't know her name. Yeah, she was fun. I thought she'd be annoying, like selfie girl, whatever. She's not. She's actually enjoyable. Honestly, I'm kind of sad they killed her off. Like she's the first one gone. I mean, not technically the first. Is a little like nerd, like wimpy kid, whatever the fuck, who gets like killed in backstage. He was like funny. I was kind of hoping they bring him back, but no, he gets like killed off screen. But I don't, and he doesn't really do much. I don't care. They killed. She's so technically she's the second one of their friend group to get killed. And honestly, I kind of wish they killed like her other friend, like the curly hair one first. Kind of weird because like I think she would have had more potential than her because her other friend doesn't really do much. She's kind of just like I'm a chef. Just I feel like they just kept her around as an excuse so they can go to the bar later on. But whatever. She's fun while she lasted. And I like the little scene with the theater and like calling back to how Sydney did like theater and like Scream 2 in college. I like that. And then we talk okay, then we talk about the guys. We got like the little like they're like into horror movies, so obligatory character. There's always at least one guy like that, and 90% of the time he's the killer. And I was like, are they gonna do it again? Because in Stream 6, there's basically the exact same character. He like dresses the same. Honestly, I thought it was the same actor because they look the same to me. So I was like, they're gonna like, there's no way they're gonna do that same like exact character again in Killer. So it's like they're not gonna do him again. When he shows up, he's kind of just like, I'm gonna start a podcast, like basic guy. Probably the most boring of this archetype. Like they do this archetype in like every movie, but it's probably the most boring one because he doesn't do anything really. At least in like Scream 4 with the guy with like the fucking like camera on him the whole time. He was like vlogging like Logan Paul. And there's like, and of course in like Scream 6, of course the guy didn't really do much, but when he was the killer, I liked him. He was enjoyable. The guy, he's just kind of there, whatever. Daughter, son of like Lady. We'll get to Lady later. And yep. Then we talk about her boyfriend. Yeah, I don't know. I also don't know his name. I don't know if they said it. They probably did. I don't remember it. But he's all right. He's all right. Like, obviously, they did a whole like he might be the killer. It's always the boyfriend. Which honestly, I don't know why they said that because that's only been true for Scream 1 and 5. But I don't know why they say it's been always the boyfriend. Like, they did that same thing in Scream 2. So it's like, there's no way he's going to be the boyfriend. Like, that's too obvious. Yeah, but I was right. Yeah, it was not him. Spoilers, obviously. I don't know why I haven't mentioned that yet. There's spoilers in this video. So if you want to watch a movie, go watch it first, then come back. If you don't give a shit, then keep watching. I think engagement. Um, yeah, I think that's all the friends. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. Okay, yeah, overall, pretty decent cast. I'm gonna be honest, they all get slimed out, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, they're kind of just there to like pad out like the kills. But from when they're there, most of them are kind of forgettable. But the few that are memorable, they're decent. Honestly, Tatum's probably the most memorable one. Honestly. And yeah, that's a bit about characters. Now, fully spoilers here. Going fully spoilers here. Because I'm talking about the goddamn AI. Okay, spoilers. Three, two, one. Stu, they got back Matthew Lillard, bro. Okay, well, they did this whole thing where it's like, is it actually Stu? Stu Macher is dead, right? And they did like the whole thing. And it's like it could be AI and like deepfakes and stuff. And the whole time, I was like they show Stu like Matthew Lillard like immediately like after like the first like scene after the first scene, you go to it, and it's like him on the phone. It's like, "Hey, Sydney, you're dead, and your friends too," like that. And it's like kind of funny because it's like Matthew Lillard, bro. After seeing him like fucking FNAF 2, he's basically the same there. He's like the same character there, and yeah, he's enjoyable because it's Matthew Lillard. I enjoy him and everything. I immediately was like, of course, they said like he could be AI, and I was thinking like it's probably Stu, because like everyone wants Stu to be back. It makes sort of sense. They had a little like fake explanation by like the doctor guy, so it's like it could make sense. And I was kind of hoping it'd be him. I mean, they already gotten back to do basically like a fucking cameo video, so it's like, why not bring him? Like, actually, you have Matthew Lillard. He'd probably be down for it. I mean, they already got him in the movie. Just bring him. So I was actually thinking it was Stu. Of course, I did think it was only Stu because it's Scream, obviously. But like, yeah. And then we're gonna after this the school scene, the play. I'm gonna talk about it now. Basically, like her, like the whole scene with her like hanging, like as a fairy, and like Ghostface, like he like slits the little like nerd's throat and like goes after her. Honestly, even though I'm kind of ashamed she died this early, it was a cool scene. Honestly, like a pretty like I don't think they ever done this before, so it's like closest we get is like Scream 2 with the guy like fucking like hanged on the like cross or star or something. So yeah, enjoyable. I like how they spilled the guts. I was not expecting that. Like reminded me that yeah, this is rated R. Like it was a fucking like straight out of Terrifier. And yeah, it's cool. I liked it. And then immediately it shows like these guys not fucking around. These are actually like confident killers. And then I was like, and then they follow it up again immediately. Fucker's in the attic and he comes down. It's like immediately straight into another scene. Like one thing I like about this movie, like after like the beginning scene, like the talking is kind of boring, but after that, just straight scene after scene after scene. Like there's like barely any. And that's what I like. It's great paced. So yeah, I'm gonna just skip to the attic scene. Like basically you do like the classic like it could have been you. Where were you? Like, fucking like Among Us, like usual things. They do that in every Scream movie after the first kill. Anyway, after the house scene, like bro, like fucking like jumping down the attic. One thing I really like is how they built suspense, like the cool like shots of Ghostface, like in like the shadows, like jumping down the attic. I already said before how tough him walking away from the fireplace, like house on fire was. Like they did, I like that. And they made him look actually threatening, Ghostface in this one. So like after he jumps down the attic, he like holds like Tatum at gunpoint, gets Jeff Winger's gun, and then like Jeff Winger tries to jump in, but like he actually pulls out some crazy ass like karate shit, gets it, and then like like Sydney and Tatum run into the fucking like 60 seconds bunker. They like escape through the walls, but bro here's them. He does like little poking things through the walls and stuff. That scene was cool. Kind of dragged on a bit, but I liked it. I don't care. And also, it also showed how competent like Ghostface was. Like he has the knife, but then once Sidney bends the knife, he just goes straight to the fire poker and stuff. Like he does not calm down at all. And then when they get outside, like he just like fucking throws hands with Jeff Winger, bro. Like he was actually like putting him down. And he's like a police chief, so it's not like just a random out dad. Like he actually had training and stuff, and this guy was like actually like beating his ass. Like that's also like this Ghostface is strong. But then bro gets fucking like run over by Gale. Great introduction to Gale. And then when they unmask him, it's just like some random ass guy, and it revealed it to be like some like escaped mental asylum patient who was already dead. Of course, they're like, oh, he's dead. You have nothing to worry about. But Sydney's like, no, there's always multiple. Yeah, of course there is. We're only like a third through the movie. There's more. But like when they did the mental asylum patient and they have Stu, my first immediate thought was they're doing the Cold of Ghostface ghost like storyline. I don't. This is scrap storyline for Scream 3. I'm pretty sure. Not entirely sure. Editing me will fact check this, but there's a storyline where Stu would be alive and like in prison, and he had like a cold of ghost faces that he like manipulate, and that was basically like the story, like scrap storyline in Scream 3. Great idea. Even if I do like Ronin thing, I kind of wish they did that. I feel like that'd be a great finale because it was originally going to be a trilogy. I feel like that'd be a great ending to the trilogy. And Ronin was cool too. Yeah, they didn't do that. I'm just gonna get to they didn't do that, but I was thinking that like, oh, he's gonna get like mental asylum patients, like crazy people, like fucking Joker, to like do his bidding for him, and that will be it. So that proved further to my theory that yeah, it's gonna actually be Stu. It's gonna actually be Stu. It's not AI. Okay, it's gonna be Stu, and that's what my thought was. Of course, I'm gonna get to it. Wasn't true. I think my idea was better, especially compared to what they did, but we'll get to the reveal later. Okay, immediately after that, they go to like the fucking like bar. Like there's the curfew. They do that all the time. Like there's a curfew. There's always a curfew. They go to the bar, and it's like from here, like go to the bar, and they have like the little classic like Mindy does like the little like Randy thing where they explain like who the killer could be. Which I'm assuming I had to go to the fucking bathroom this time because I was fucking holding it in. I was gonna burst, and I was like not even halfway through. So it's a good thing I went. I would not have made it, and I think that was a good scene to like leave during. My one complaint, I didn't see it, but I'm gonna talk about the theater for a second. We went to some theater. I think we only went once, but it was like years ago. I do not remember it. So this is basically my first time at this like new theater. Bro, this theater was like a fucking labyrinth, bro. Like I got out the theater and I was like, I'm gonna go find a restroom. And I literally had to like fucking climb stairs, run across the entire building, and then find a restroom. It looked like the fucking restroom from The Shining. Like generally, it was like a fucking labyrinth. Like I had to be fucking sprinting so I didn't have to miss the movie. I was sprinting as a joke, like, oh, the restroom's gonna be around the corner. I don't really need to sprint, but I'm gonna do it anyway. But I actually did need to sprint. The fucking like run across the entire theater, around buildings, upstairs, downstairs, had to slide downstairs like fucking like fucking like Bowser in that one scene in SML, bro. Like generally, I had to, and I got there on time, but like I was fucking out of breath and like sweating throughout the entire movie, bro. I was like fucking like run a marathon to get to the restroom and back. Okay, off topic, back to the bar scene. After that, she like Tatum and like her boyfriend leave into the car, whatever, and then she finds like that fucking like AI thing in his car. Like he's like, I only want to see if it was possible, and she's like, get away from me! Fucking hits him with the MacBook and like runs out. But then Ghostface is actually out there. She runs back into it. I want to talk about the AI for a second. I'm gonna take this time to talk about the AI. It's so fucking funny. It's I mean, once we get to the fucking scene later on, which like Sydney's at her house, like the AI, like it's supposed to be AI, but like it's really obviously it looks more like a fucking like cameo video. Looks like the fucking like calling Jeff the Killer at 3 a.m.
I'm coming for you.
No. Stop, man. Don't play games like that.
Okay, she like runs into the bar, goes in the kitchen, but then Ghostface like leaves her and goes and like attacks like her other friend, the curly haired one I was talking about earlier, the chef one. She's like, I'm a chef. Like she goes into the kitchen, she like he goes into there and then like he scuffles a bit, tries to kill her, but then like Mindy and like her little lackey show up, but they get slimed out. They don't die, but they get like fucking like knocked. Then after that, her like outside, it's like she escapes, but then like the little nerd guy is like, I got this, and like runs it there, and he just like fucking comes out like bleeding, like she not fucking got this, bro. And then after that, Ghostface comes out, and then slimes her, like beats her ass up a bit, slides her around the counter into glass, and then she like fucking slits her throat on the glass. Cool death. And then Ghostface like grabs like the little nerd guy off the floor and like impales his head on like this spike thing. And I was like, that's fucking crazy, bro. Especially when we get to the reveal later on. Like I'll talk about that later. I mean, it was kind of goofy how like his fucking like innards and like fucking projectile vomiting like looks like they put like a fucking hose through him to spill all that out. But that's it. It's like I like that. After that, then it cut. I thought the scene would end there. Then like the police will come, and then we have another scene, and then into the other. But no, this scene like goes on. Like Ghostface does not give up after this. After this, also I didn't talk about this earlier, but before like the dad was like walking in the garage and stuff, and like the tarps. I like how the Ghostface looks behind the tarps, so they make good use of shadows and stuff, and how like his face appears in the darkness, bro. That was cool. That was fucking cool. Anyway, like where Ghostface like fucking like jumps his ass in the garage and like stabs him like 10 times in the stomach. I have no idea. Apparently later on he survives this. Have no idea how, especially since he was in this state to like the beginning. Like they killed him like slimed us all like at 1 in the afternoon or whatever. And then they bring him back when it's like nighttime. So I'm assuming it's like 9 or 10 at night. And he's still alive. Like how the fuck he was like that for like 8 hours. How did he survive that? I don't know, but like it's at least like a Scream 6 when a fucking like fridge like gets like fucking stabbed like 20 times like tag team and he survived that. At the very least, that was like immediately like the ambulance got to him like and like less than an hour after that. So like he didn't suffer that much blood loss. But this guy, fucking Jeff Winger, was like that for 8 hours. How did he not die? Like generally, how did he not die? Okay. Anyway, we're gonna talk back to the scene. Okay, I'm getting off track. So Tatum like runs. She runs through the street. Ghostface is after her. She's like, she runs through the street. She finds her boyfriend. She's like, I'm so sorry. I thought it was you. Like, it's all right. We got this. We're gonna escape. And then he immediately gets slammed and killed, like fucking dead already. Then she runs into like the little like Sydney's little office coffee shop, and the little coffee shop, and then Cindy is like she's like running home because like I didn't talk about this. She was in like an interview with Gail because they're trying to get go like Sid. No, not Sid. They're gonna Stu to call her like on live television. Gail like they finally get to do the interview that Gail's been like wanting. I like how they finally she did get an interview. Even it was like only one question where Sydney crashed out, but at least it was an interview. She like of course it says of her arc and how it's like she doesn't want to talk about her daughter and wants to leave her out of everything and just wants to keep hiding. And Gail's like you gotta help her or else how is she gonna survive on her own? And she's like I don't care. And then then she gets the call from Stu after they turn off the cameras and he's like, I'm at the bar. I'm gonna fucking kill her. I'm at the bar.
You're dead. Your friends are dead. Your family's dead. Your fucking pets are being skinned alive. Your mom's a fucking whore. You suck at life. The whole world hates you. You're going to hell. Live with it. Game over.
And she shoots him through the wall. I like that scene. I saw in the trailer. I thought it'd be a more elaborate scene. Like she'd be like walking like throughout the office and have to avoid him. But no, they only stay in that one room. But it's still a cool like scene. When they shoot him through the wall, of course, probably has a bulletproof vest. Like ever since like Scream 3, like they always had a bulletproof vest. So he's like, shoot him in the head, shoot him in the head. And she like hesitated. She's like, I can't shoot him. I can't shoot him. It's like you're strong. Like whatever. Just shoot him, bro. You have a fucking gun. And he has a knife. Even if you don't know how to really use one, you at least know how to like generally aim in the direction and shoot. Not that hard. Everybody had this scene like, you got this. You're strong. I believe in you. And she shoots him through the wall with Sydney's help. Then she goes outside, slowly goes outside, and she's like, shoot him in the head, shoot him in the head. And she's like, um, all right. And she like slowly puts her up to her head, like, bitch, just fucking do it. Just shoot him in the head. It like gives him enough time to like get up. And then reveals that there's a second ghost face. Obviously, there's always two. I don't know, it's not surprising. And then they jump her and they like kidnap her. And Cindy arrives and she gets like the phone call say, go back to where it all began, go to the heart. And she goes back to her house. Honestly, when I went, I'll talk about this later, but basically, actually, no, I'll talk about this now. I'm talking about this now. It's my channel. She goes to her house again. She goes to her house, and that's where the climax takes place. And honestly, this is like the most lame like location for the climax of all the Scream movies. Like in Scream 1, Stu Macher's house, iconic. Scream 2 took place in a theater, great place. It took a full advantage of that. Scream 3, Ronan's like mansion, like Scooby Doo ass mansion. That was cool. Scream 4, it was a hospital. Of course, hospitals are always a cool place in horror movies. And also, I guess it could be like her house, like that house. Or if you don't want to count, you count the scene before that when they're at like the house. And even if it's not a crazy set piece, still, still cool. In Scream 5, back at Schumacher's house. We're back at where it all began. And Scream, and then Scream 6, you're at this Ghostface museum. That was cool set piece. And this one, you're just at like Sydney's house, and it's not even like a crazy house. It's just just a regular ass house. Nothing crazy. And then when they have that final fight, it's in like the garage with tarps. And sure, like all the tarps and stuff is kind of a cool set piece, and the garage is literally like fucking like infinitely long. Like, why is the garage that big? But still kind of a lame set piece. I kind of like when they use the tarps, but like not really. Like it's not as cool as the other ones. Like probably the lamest like location for the climax. Yeah, lamest location. I like the tarps. I'll get to that scene later on. She goes to the house and then she gets barraged by like the AI TVs and they show like fucking cameo videos.
People don't like you.
All I wanted was to be your friend.
Your cartoons, they're empty. Like you.
You never say anything that's real.
I have a new list. Top 10 reasons Adam Ellis is a dick.
Like Stu, Dewey. I'm pretty sure Ronan. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Ronan. And this lady, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be Billy, like Miss Loomis. I'm pretty sure. Not entirely sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Miss Loomis. I was hoping they bring back Loomis, like how like he brought him as like the fucking like Force Ghost in Extreme like 5 and 6. So I was like, are they gonna do him again? You know? They're gonna use some like AI thing, whatever, to fucking like the Woody like AI like
Judgmental asshole, Kyle. I'm fucking sick of it. Go fuck yourself, Kyle.
like shit. I thought they were like, are they gonna use him again? They didn't. Missed opportunity. Maybe they just couldn't get his actor back again. But they brought back. I like it. They brought back Ronan, Miss Loomis, and they got my goat Dewey. They got my goat Dewey, bro. I was hoping he'd be alive still, but no, he's not. At least they got him to do like fucking AI video. Anyway, then after that, she goes outside and they do like the whole like remake of like the first scene with like the guy like tied outside, like like the first scene with her boy, like the girl's boyfriend tied outside with Ghostface right there. Yeah, they redo that again, which I thought was a pretty cool. That's like the only really cool thing about the climax. That's like the only thing really called back to. Besides that, you're just in the fucking garage. She goes outside and then they do the reveal, and it's the doctor. Remember him? No, I didn't remember him. I didn't mention him earlier because he's such a forgettable character. He has one scene before this. Yeah, the Ghostface in these movies were like this movie were really cool. Like the way they like took full advantage. Like they were fully efficient. They're getting like fucking murky and sliming everyone, bro. They were like brutal. I like that. They were like not even like doing like silly one-liners. They were just like going straight for the kill. But so I was like, no, these guys are so cool. And then they do a reveal, and it's like just some random ass people for like one or two scenes. It's like kind of a disappointing reveal. Like, oh, it's just them. Oh. There's a doctor guy. I didn't talk about him before. Basically, like Sydney and Gail go to like a mental asylum to meet like where like like I talked about before, like the Ghostface they ran over with some escaped mental asylum patient. They go to where he escaped, and like the doctor explains to him like, oh, like the guy next to him, he was was like this guy named like fucking John Doe, and he was like Stu. He's like, oh, that's John. And it's just like this fake story. So I was like, oh yeah, that's a good like explainable story, like how they bring back Stu and how he's like a drifter, lost his memory, but then eventually like snapped, attacked a high schooler, and did like that's how he got his memory. And then when he was released, explained why he was like gone for so long. That was a good explanation. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good way to bring Stu back. But no, it's not Stu. It's like the doctor guy who like, appeared in that. That's his one scene. That's it. You see that? He's gone until he's revealed his ghost face. That's it. And then the other one is her neighbor and the mother of like the nerd guy. Like, she's like the most interesting of the duo because she actually had more scenes than one before that. I like how they kind of planted seeds to her, like, and her abusive husband. I like that, but that's about it. She's still kind of a lame reveal because she had like no scenes before that. I kind of felt the same way about Miss Loomis and like Scream 2, but at least she was a cool character and was connected to Billy, past killer. This one, they had no connections. They're just random ass people who wanted to kill. So I liked her kind of. She goes on a little rant about how like Sydney was an inspiration for her and it made her like kill her husband to get out of the marriage. And then like, but then Sydney like moved away or whatever, and like that made her like upset, and she get checked into the mental asylum, and that's where she met the doctor, and that's where they made their plans. Yeah, I like her like story with like being obsessed with like Sydney and her trauma, like how like parallels how she never got over her trauma and she like bonded with Sydney because like oh she also has trauma, so we can like bond. So when Sydney tried to get away and get over her trauma, when she couldn't, she like crashed out. Sydney blaming her for everything. Like how can she's trying to move on? Yeah, like she's not allowed to move on because she's not moving on. So Sydney can't be allowed to move on either. I like that like a whole like parallel with trauma and stuff. Like how she says that like your life is trauma to Sydney. That was cool. Like how they keep dragging her like back into this ghost face. Like no matter how much she tries to get away, keeps coming back. I like Sydney by the end accepts that like she can't really escape this and she should stop hiding. But that doesn't mean she should let it define her life. Like she can still like accept it while not letting it like be like a paranoid schizophrenic or whatever. You know? Nah, that was like cool stuff. I like that. But after that, like they revealed Jeff Winger is still somehow alive. I had no idea how he survived. They like kick him a bit. He's like fucking on the floor bleeding out. But he's still alive and like cuts like Tatum's like feet loose and she gets up. And then like Sydney pulls out a gun, kills the doctor immediately. He didn't really get to do anything. Like at least let him do something. Like he gets slimed out immediately. Gun head to head, straight dead. Like like how Sydney got like better at using guns though. Like like they had that training of her like shooting guns. Like they brought back. Like she actually did something. Then afterwards, they chase like she like runs into the garage and they like chase her and you have this cool scene like especially like Ghostface like when she like climbs up the outfit and like jumps down from the ceiling. Like how Ghostface like is like fully sneaky in this one. They take advantage of that. But afterwards, the actual fight not too interesting. And then like they shoot her and then like Tatum like saves her the gun. It's like I can't. I want to be a fighter. I am a fighter. You are a fighter. Oh, but then she comes back screaming, and then they shoot her like 10 trillion times in the head. Yeah, like that's like pretty funny scene. I liked it. Then they did like the classic epilogue, like outside the house at night, the ambulance outside. They drag Jeff Winger into the hospital, the ambulance still somehow alive. I'm not gonna stop talking about it. I still don't know how to survive. And they talk about like Tatum and how like she claimed her daughter after Tatum because she was strong and like her best friend and stuff. And I really like that because I really like Tatum and I'm glad they like brought her back in some way. She's like the only like real character from the first one that never truly returned. Like Stu, obviously, like the theories, and of course in this one, like the fucking AI shit, like the like calling Jet the Killer 3M shit. Billy with like the Force Ghosts and stuff, into like Stream 5 and 6. Randy, obviously, he returned to Stream 2, and like his like nieces in like Stream 5, 6, Mindy, like that. And like they all like return in some way. Sydney, of course, obviously returns because she survived. And yeah, they all like except Tatum. Tatum's like the only one who never really did. So I'm glad they finally like acknowledged her again. Like a nice like farewell to the character. And yep, that's about the end of the movie. Overall, I'd say it's about the same level of Scream 6. Pretty decent, like a 6.5 maybe. Like I enjoyed it because I love all the Scream movies, and this was about what I expected, so I enjoyed it. But like it's like I was kind of hoping to be a little better. Honestly, I feel like it would have been a lot better if they just went with the Stu thing. Because they did like whole thing like you didn't expect it to be Billy Luke. You didn't expect it to be Stu Mocker, did you? Yes, I did, because that would have been cooler than what you actually did. It's like compared to Scream 6, I'd say like a stronger like middle overall than Scream 6. It was stronger in the middle than Scream 6 was. But Scream 6 ending was like way better with the thumb of the museum, and like the reveal was way more interesting because it was actual characters who like knew stuff. That was way better. And this one they're just in garage, and there's like the killers were just like two people who showed up in one scene before. So it's really disappointing the reveal. But like strengths and weaknesses, but they're about on the same level. They level out. I still think it would be way cooler if they actually did stew. They actually just did stew, like how, cause like the way that Ghostface were like moving in this one, they were moving like in their prime, like Stream 4, like they were not holding back at all. So it's like to reveal it to be Stu, like be like, oh yeah, he locked in this time, you know. And it's like I hope and he had like actual like other mental asylums or whatever. Or you could reveal that it was just Stu and like his lackey was the only one he died. That's it. It would have been way cooler. Or you could have done like he had like one of his friends to help, you know. But whatever, man. What they should have done it, missed opportunity. But for what it is, it's still a fine movie. 6.5. I enjoyed it. I like Scream. I like all them, and I liked it. Are they gonna do an eighth one? I don't know. The way they're marketing it, you think it'd be like, oh, the last Scream movie, you know, like. But honestly, this felt like just another Scream movie. Like, they didn't really feel like a final one. If they do a final one, actually bring back Stu. This was the perfect opportunity. They didn't. But if they do another one after this, I don't know if they'll be the finale or they'll just do like this one, it's just kind of just another stream movie. But if it's like this or better, I will be there and I will enjoy it and I will like it. So yeah, overall 6.5, about the same level as Stream 6. Those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. I know this video is kind of like all over the place. It's kind of just me ranting, way less organized than my last video. But still, I just wanted to get my thoughts out quickly, just to like kind of ramble about Scream because I like Scream. Scream. I love Scream. It's basically for this channel. I'm gonna talk about my channel for a little bit at the end here. For my plans for this channel, I don't really have any plans really. Basically, I just want to fucking like upload whatever I want. Just talk about whatever I want. Like now maybe do some gameplay videos. Like I kind of want to do one about Project Playtime. So you remember that? I want to do maybe like plush videos. I kind of thinking about that. Just kind of to do whatever. Basically, so that's basically just build up an audience of people who just watch me doing whatever. So if you enjoyed this, like, share, all that bullshit, and yeah, thanks for watching.